Expert view is where we tweak the nuances of the piano sound. Now with the tine-based instruments, a hammer strikes the fork, and then we have the damper module, which simulates the noise produced by the dampers when they're either applied to or lifted off from the fork. Now in the case of the reed-based instruments, the hammer strikes a reed, and the damper, again, is applied either on the attack or release of the hammer striking or releasing from the reed. So here we have an amount knob, which sets the amplitude or volume of that noise, and the tone knob adjusts the stiffness of the dampers. When we turn it to the left position, they're kind of darker and heavier sounding and soft, but as we turn them right, they're sharper and produce a higher pitch type of sound. Now we can apply the damper noise to the attack of each note or the release of each note, and when it's at 12 o'clock, it applies equally to both, and we can emphasize one or the other. So here we're going to take a kind of clinical example, and we'll exaggerate the value so you can hear precisely what it's doing. On release, it gets higher pitched. And on the attack. Without any of this, now the damper controls interact with the release on the fork or reed module. So here, this controls the decay time of the fork's oscillators after the dampers are applied. So as I dial this up, we'll hear more of the fork noise. Again, on the release or the attack. And higher pitched. Now here's the same example using a reed-based instrument, and I'm going to turn the noise down here and turn this down so we hear it cleanly. We can introduce noise here, but without that, we get the release noise, stiffer and higher pitched. Or on the attack. Or softer. And as we increase the release, this is after the damper is applied. So more exaggerated. Here's an example that'll dramatize the effect with no noise here, the full tone bar signal and a fairly high tine. I'm going to play you this with no damper noise. And I'll introduce it on the release. So a lot of mechanical damper noise. Very noisy, but sharper up high. And on the attack, so just add some weight to the attack of each note. And we can mix the two with more emphasis on the attack. So it can add a nice, authentic, gritty, kind of dirty quality to the instrument's characteristics. And the damper module responds to sustain pedal CC64 messages, so you can trigger it as you're playing. That's the damper module.